Good morning, guys. We got our rods, we got our bait, we're heading out. We're launching at the Jensen Beach Causeway, heading into St. Lucie County where we can start fishing for the Goliath Grouper. We're hoping to get a few jacks to add into our bait, and then we'll get going and we're gonna hit some structure, look for Goliath Grouper, and hopefully put a tag on one today.
Under Florida's Goliath Grouper Harvest Program, Florida residents and non-residents lucky to draw a permit have a chance to catch a small Goliath Grouper for keeps. But small by Goliath Grouper standards is still pretty big. The slot limit is 24 to 36 inches, which fisheries biologists say is a fish that might weigh from 5 to 32 pounds. Fishery managers chose that slot limit to protect the very small Goliaths, which are most susceptible to natural mortality, as well as to protect the larger fish, the reproductive adults. Trey Wheeler was one of the lucky 200 to pull a tag for the Goliath harvest in 2025. He's taking his PENN spinning gear out on the water to make it happen.
Taking jacks with the PENN reel.
That's a goofy jig, jack killer.
Trip, I was just curious to know, has CCA Florida been following this issue?
Yeah, CCA Florida has been following this issue for many years now. We've been involved trying to push the limited harvest or an open harvest of Goliath Grouper for, I would say, well over 15 to 20 years. We're very pleased that FWC created the limited harvest for Goliath Grouper. We believe that FWC should expand the harvest, though, into the south and southeast regions, and even making a size limit bigger than what they have right now. We do not think that the FWC should consider any closing of any artificial reefs or any other locations as they move forward with this limited entry program.
Well said.
Send it.
So tell me, has American Sport Fishing Association been following the reopening of Goliath Grouper, the limited harvest program?
Is that a fish?
Yeah, ASA, we've been supportive. It's been a long conversation as the fishery has rebounded over the years. And, I think the way that FWC designed this limited harvest is pretty smart, allows for continued rebuilding, but also provides harvest opportunities that were gone for a long time, decades. How often does that happen, right? Where a fishery closes like that for a long time, and then we actually had the success of being able to get people back on the water. So pretty cool.
So we're here, Fort Pierce Inlet. Got our first Goliath Grouper. About to put him in the net.
We're not really seeing a lot of problems from the 24 to 36 inch groupers. I think once they get over the 36 inches, that's where they're actually consuming so much fish. At 36 inches and above, we should be harvesting some of these fish because they're the ones that are taking out a lot of snappers in the river, near shore and offshore. I mean, if you go out and try and fish any of the reefs locally on the Treasure Coast, it's hard to get them in unless you're using extra heavy tackle because there's so many Goliaths down there. And none of these fish are going to be slot size. They're all 50 inches or better typically, and I think we should be able or be allowed to harvest one of those. If we're going to only be harvesting 200 fish a year, you should be trying to harvest a couple larger ones as well.
We've got our Goliath Grouper. Ate a nice little Jack Crevalle. We're gonna put him on the measuring tape and go from there. Slot size is between 24 and 36 inches. And he's gonna measure right at 30 inches. So we got ourselves a keeper Goliath Grouper. We're gonna go ahead, unhook him, get the tag on him, which has to go around his bottom jaw. And then we got to take a fin sample, in which we'll send back to FWC as requested and go from there. This is caught on a Penn Authority 8500 with 65-pound braid with a 250-pound leader using a live Jack Crevalle.
Trey has the perfect sized Goliath Grouper on ice, but also some post-harvest work to do. From filleting the catch to filing a report that will be used by fishery scientists. There's citizen science behind the Goliath Grouper Harvest program. On the next episode, we'll go into even greater detail on how fishermen can help.